Hello Internet, Dan here with ProAudioSuperstore.com, and today we're here at Studio 2100 in Springfield, Missouri. We're going to be taking a look at the new Presonus ADL 700 channel strip. It's all tube, compressor, EQ. We're going to run a few things through it, some guitar, some bass, maybe a snare drum. We're going to take a listen to how it sounds, and from there you guys make your own decisions. So let's get started. Okay, let's take a look at some of the features for the ADL 700. First, you've got an input selector knob. It'll switch from the instrument input on the front panel to the line input on the back. And you've got 4 different impedance selections for microphones. You have a high-pass filter that is switchable from off and variable all the way up to 200 Hertz. Next, you've got your preamp section, which is a stepped preamp, anywhere from 30 all the way up to 65 dB in gain. And then right above that is a trim control that gives you a plus or minus 10 dB in trim. Moving on, we've got the compressor section. Pretty standard control features here. You got your threshold, you've got your ratio, which goes from 1 to 1 to 4 to 1, and then you've got a makeup gain, attack, and release. There's a hard bypass for the compressor if you need it, 20 dB pad for the mic, 48 volt phantom power, and a polarity reverse. Moving on to the center here, we've got a nice bright VU meter. You can reduce the output metering by 6 dB if need be, and also you can turn the meter into a gain reduction meter when using the compressor. Moving on, we've got the EQ section. You've got a 4-band semi-parametric EQ with frequency selection on top and your gain on the bottom. The low and the high bands can be switched from a shelving filter as their default, and you can switch it to a peak filter if you need. You've got a hard bypass for the EQ, just like for the compressor. And this switch is pretty cool. You can put the EQ before the compressor if the need were to arise. And then finally, of course, you've got your output fader and your power switch. Okay, for our first guitar demo, we've got the Les Paul playing through a Vox AC15 that's going through a Marshall cabinet. It's mic'd up with a Shure KSM 313 ribbon microphone. That's going right into the ADL 700. I'm going to pretty much run it completely clean, flat. My gain set at 40, trim's right at 0, no high pass filter. I've got my impedance set to 1500, and the final output is at 12 o'clock as well, and the EQ and the compressor are both bypassed. So let's take a look and listen and see how that sounds. Alright, now let's do a bass track, and we're going to start off. I'm going to leave the compressor and the EQ bypassed for this. I've got it switched to instrument. I'm plugging the bass right in. I've got a Fender P bass. High pass is off. We're going to hear what it sounds like clean and straight up, and then I'll put a compressor on it when we're done. So let's try that real quick. Okay, now I've got the compressor set kind of how I want here. Let's try and engage that. I got it set real fast with a fast release. I'm going to hit it pretty hard. Let's hear what that sounds like. Next we're going to try a snare drum. Again, I'm going to start kind of flat here. I'm going to bypass the EQ and compressor's bypassed. I'm going to go ahead and put the high pass filter on. Let's put it at about 80 hertz, and we'll see what that sounds like. Okay, now let's try another one, and this time still bypassing the EQ and the compressor, and I've turned the preamp up to 45 and turned the trim down a little bit to compensate. So let's hear what that sounds like.